Commissioners were recently updated on issues regarding animal services in Cumberland County. Following that presentation, we'll learn about rabies vaccination clinics being held throughout April.
Canine distemper is a viral disease of wild and domestic animals. This disease in unvaccinated, stressed animals, which is what we're dealing with every day, is a horrible disease. It's difficult to prevent. It takes conscious effort, conscious work, hard work by everybody involved. The virus itself is transmitted by two means. It's transmitted by inhalation or of mist on if an animal has the disease and is shedding the virus and it sneezes or coughs, those droplets can spread out in the air just like in a doctor's office with sneezing and colds in humans. It's also spread by direct contact, dealing with either the feeding bowls, touching an animal that's shedding the virus, and then touching another animal that's not protected. We're having to deal with a problem in the Animal Services Division, and we've made a lot of improvement in the last month, and we're doing a lot of different things that you're going to hear from Mr. Harris about ways that we can try to prevent this.
First, let me state, as Cumberland County Animal Service Director, I am ultimately responsible for what occurs under my watch. That's the bottom line. Yes, I did make mistakes in handling the recent canine distemper outbreak at our shelter. We do not knowingly adopt out animals exhibiting signs of illness. If we suspect an animal is sick, it is considered adoptable. It is not considered adoptable. Dogs may be harboring distemper at the time of adoption, but not showing signs. I should have informed the public sooner about the possibility of exposure to the disease. There were problems with shelter operations, and we have worked diligently to correct them. My focus is on learning from this experience and moving animal services in the right direction. Here's what we know now about the number of distemper cases based on information reported back to animal services. Of dogs adopted or rescued, 5 symptomatic cases during November and December, 28 cases confirmed by a vet, and 7 symptomatic during January and February. In January, cross-contamination prevention measures increased. Animal Services alerted the public that we were dealing with distemper cases and halted all pet adoptions on February 17th. Our first objective was to decontaminate the shelter and vehicles. Our decontamination efforts have included increasing ventilation in the puppy rooms and testing the airflow. As for the question of using hot water to clean the kennels, first let me state clearly that there is hot water available in the building. Our kennel cleaning protocols do not call for hot water, just disinfect it mixed with water. Disinfection of the kennel area is accomplished with chemicals, not scalding water that could harm staff and the animals. Also, our cleaning protocols are in line with what is required with the North Carolina Department of Agriculture. We have revised our intake operations for healthy and adoptable animals. We're also contracting with Dr. Lobby for increased hours and visits in the shelter. We have consulted with other county shelters in the state and with veterinarians from North Carolina State University College of Veterinary Medicine. Cumberland County is not alone in battling distemper. Pitt County has been fighting this disease since November. On February 23rd, I met in person with Michelle Whaley, Pitt County's Animal Control Director, Dr. Kelly Ferris, an Associate Professor from North Carolina State University's College of Veterinary Medicine, and local veterinarians in the Greenville area to see what their community is doing to fight distemper. Brunswick County, which has had an early distemper outbreak, has shared their procedures as well. Based on the actions we have taken, we are prepared to resume normal adoption hours and operations tomorrow, March 16th. Finally, I have also invited a team from North Carolina State University's College of Veterinary Medicine to conduct a comprehensive assessment of our shelter. We will use their recommendations to make additional improvements. Here's some important statistics to consider. Animal Service impounds more than 12,000 animals a year. Impounded animals are picked up by Animal Service officers, or they are dropped off by people who sign the animals over to the shelter. Last year, Animal Service officers were dispatched to 17,000 calls in the city and the county. Regarding euthanasia, our statistics show that the number of animals impounded each year, the percentage euthanized has remained close to 80% for fiscal years 2007, 2008, 2009, and so far in 2010. We're following our standard operating procedures for euthanasia. Dogs, and this includes puppies that are healthy and adoptable, are not being euthanized upon intake as a way to fight distemper. Again, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to address the board and the public about these issues.
We are going to recruit a shelter manager who has a vet tech background and experience. We believe that is important. There was a time when the county had that, and we believe we need to return to the shelter manager with the vet tech kinds of experience in our operations. We are providing additional training for the staff. You've heard some of that here tonight. I recommend to you that you appoint a commissioner liaison to the Animal Services Board. I also recommend that you establish a nonprofit friends organization based on the public library model, and I think that ties in very well with some of the comments we heard earlier tonight about how the community can help Animal Services, and how perhaps the community can raise funds and other things for improvements to the animal shelter and operations of the shelter. We are also going to create a community outreach education coordinator position to spearhead public information and education efforts to promote responsible pet ownership. In closing, I would like to state that Mr. Harris and county management are committed to making our Animal Services Department one of the best in North Carolina.
Cumberland County schedules clinics every Tuesday and Thursday for the month of April, starting April 6th, various locations out throughout the county. We've got 3 sites every Tuesday, every Thursday. The fee for the clinic is $10 now. Okay, it's not $5 anymore, it's $10. So everybody, bring your $10 bill with you. No checks, no roll coins. The rabies clinics, you bring your animal in for a $10 fee versus going to your vet, paying an office visit plus a separate charge for the shot itself. So it's a substantial savings over, going to your vet's office. Most of the locations are located at Cumberland County middle schools or grade schools for convenience, have a lot of room for parking, and try to get people in and out in the safest manner we can.
Any animal that is 4 months old or older is required by law to be vaccinated. There is a $100 fine if you don't have your cat or dog vaccinated. Okay, but we don't want you to have your animal vaccinated just because it's a law. We want you to have your animal vaccinated because you want to protect your family, you want to protect your pets, you want to protect your neighbors. And that's really what you to have your animal vaccinated, not just because it's a law. The first year, the vaccine is only good for like 1 year. Then they come back again the next year and they get another shot, basically the same shot, and it's a booster shot that's good for 3 years. The state requires you at least have 1 clinic a year. Cumberland County goes above and beyond what is required. We use the month of April as rabies vaccination month, and we have a whole bunch of clinics. Then we have them placed throughout Cumberland County, all over the place, giving everybody an opportunity to have their animals vaccinated. So there really is no reason for nobody not to have their animals vaccinated.